Hey guys, Bottom25 here, Baltot1925 here. I'm watching the launch of PSLV-C34 on here Cartosat-2 series, Cartosat. Let's see if I can.
Good morning. Namaskar, good morning, and greetings to all our viewers. I am Abhay Kumar, and together with my dear friend and fellow commentator, Shri Pramod Kumar Pandey, I welcome you to this launch event being telecast live from the Mission Control Center at Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. We are here to bring to you the live coverage of PSLV-C34 Cartosat-2 series satellite mission carrying 20 satellites, 3 of them Indian and 17 satellites from customer countries Indonesia, Germany, Canada, and the USA. Today's launch will take place at 9:26 a.m. Indian Standard Time from our second launch pad. It is primarily a remote sensing mission with a sun-synchronous polar orbit of 509 kilometers circular with an orbital inclination of 97.5 degrees. We are around 26 minutes from launch. Today's flight is the 36th flight of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, the PSLV, and 14th flight of PSLV-XL, the most powerful amongst PSLV variants. In PSLV-XL, the 4-stage core vehicle is augmented by 6 solid strap-ons called PSOM-XL. As I have mentioned, today we are carrying 20 satellites with a total mass of 1,288 kilograms. The main satellite is ISRO's own Cartosat-2 series satellite. The other 2 Indian satellites are Satyabama-SAT, developed by the students of Satyabama University, Chennai, and Swayam satellite, developed by students of College of Engineering, Pune. We then have customer satellites. Out of these, 4 are 100 kg class microsatellites accommodated in our dual launch adapter, and 13 are nanosatellites. The microsatellites are Lapan A3, Biros, M3M-SAT, and SkySat Gen 2-1. The 30 nanosatellites are GHG-SAT and 12 Dove satellites. Another important objective of today's mission is the demonstration of 2 restarts of the 4th stage and the consequent orbit change. This will be done well after the injection of all satellites into orbit. The weather conditions here are very favorable. It has been a pleasant morning and wind speeds are quite low. A small wind speed of 5 to 6 meters per second prevailing, and which is better for the launch vehicle, though the launch vehicle is robust enough to carry forward and handle much larger winds. We are now around 24 minutes from launch.
नमस्कार, मैं प्रमोद कुमार पांडे अपने नजदीक पहुंच चुके हैं। रॉकेट विदेशी हैं, स्थापित किए जाएंगे, तो हम एक ही अभियान में 2 अलग-अलग कक्षाओं में उपग्रह प्रक्षेपित कर पाएंगे। अब हम थोड़ी जानकारी आपको अभियान के तैयारियों के विकल्प के इंटीग्रेशन पर एक फिल्म हम दिखाते हैं।
We shall now present to you a short video on integration. You can see the core base shroud and the nozzle segment now being moved for assembly on the mobile launch pedestal at our solid stage preparation building. The core base shroud is now sitting on the pedestal, and next we are assembling the various segments of PS1. You can see 2 segments already assembled and the 3rd segment being moved. It has total 5 number of segments, and you can see chart director on screen. This is a 200th segment joint, a milestone for us, and you can see how delicate and how crucial this, now the igniter of first stage, which itself is a small rocket, is being assembled. The RCTs are now being assembled, and we are now assembling the one interstage between the 2 first and second stage. These are our strap-ons. The strap-ons are slowly being moved to the assembly building for integration with the first stage. You can see the crucial operations being made. 2 strap-ons are already assembled, and now we are moving from SSAB, our facility of solid stage integration, to the vehicle integration building where the full vehicle will be integrated. On the MLP, you saw the PS1 coming. Now the remaining strap-ons are being assembled here, and the first stage is now nearly assembled completely. This is the final strap-on being assembled, and a majestic view of fully assembled first stage is in front of you.
अब आप देखेंगे कि अंतर चरण को संयोजित किया जाएगा। इसके साथ ही प्रथम चरण और द्वितीय चरण के बीच के इंजन और बीच की स्टेज का संयोजन कर दिया जाएगा, और उसके बाद आप इस समय देख रहे हैं तृतीय एवं चतुर्थ स्टेज को ज्वाइन होते हुए, और इसको रवाना किया गया है, और इसको भी व्हीकल से असेंबली के लिए लाया जा रहा है।
Now the satellites is being prepared for integration with the vehicle. The final checks on the satellites going on. This is Cartosat-2 series being carefully moved for assembly on the payload adapter. Now you can see the dual launch adapter, upper portion of that, along with Cartosat-2 being assembled to the lower portion of dual launch adapter. The dual launch adapter is now ready, and it's being containerized for movement to the vehicle integration building. The flag off to vehicle integration building is being seen. This is the satellite being moved to our vehicle integration building. PS4 being prepared to receive the adapter. Here you can see the adapter being put on PS4. Now the satellite is totally assembled, and then you see the heat shield being slowly closed, and the vehicle now will be ready for movement to the second launch.
आप देख रहे हैं कि वाहन अपनी पूरे भव्य रूप में तैयार है, जो कि इस समय रवाना किया जा रहा है प्रमोचन स्थल की तरफ। प्रमोचन स्थल इस भवन से करीब 1 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर है, और वाहन को बहुत धीरे धीरे गति से वहां तक ले जाया जाता है। इसकी गति लगभग 7 मीटर प्रति मिनट की रखी जाती है, ताकि वाहन को इस गति से कोई हानि ना हो सके। और रॉकेट अभी आप देख रहे हैं द्वितीय प्रमोचन स्थल पर पूरी तरीके से तैयार खड़ा हुआ। एक बहुत बड़े प्रचालन के बाद ये कार्यक्रम संपन्न होता है।
Welcome back to the live telecast. You can see our chairman, Shri S. Kiran Kumar, on screen, flanked by senior scientists and center directors. And now I shall share with you some details of PSLV-XL vehicle. The stacking of PSLV-C34 in our launch vehicle assembly building commenced on 11th May 2016, and the final 48 hours countdown to the launch commenced day before yesterday, after the vehicle was moved to the second launch pad on 18th of June. PSLV-C34 has a lift-off mass of 321 tons and is 44.5 meters tall, with a core diameter of 2.8 meters and heat shield diameter of 3.2 meters. The first stage of PSLV is called PS1, and it employs our all-powerful S139 solid booster. It has a peak thrust of 4,800 kilonewtons and burns for around 105 seconds. It is 20 meters in length and has 138.2 tons of solid propellant. Each of the 6 strap-ons attached to the PS1 are the bigger version of our strap-ons called XL. They burn for about 55 seconds with a specific impulse of 266 seconds. They are 1 meter in diameter and 12 meters long. The second stage of PSLV is called PS2, and it employs our Vikas engine with 42 tons of liquid propellant loading. It has a steady state thrust of 800 kilonewtons and burns for about 150 seconds. The third stage, called PS3, is again a solid motor with composite motor case, which offers significant payload mass benefits. The final stage, the PS4, is using its heaviest version, that is 2.5 tons of propellant loading. This twin-engine pressure-fed configuration has a steady-state total thrust of 15 kilonewtons and burns for about 493 seconds in this flight, as per the requirements of orbit. Now, a very important event is going to take place. That is, taking the launch as launch time as T. The T minus 15 minutes, the mission director, Shri B. Jayakumar, will authorize the launch to the vehicle director. The director will then proceed with further activities like
All
ALS.
sessions stand by for the time
Now
marked.
you can see
Mark time is 15 minutes and
the
counting.
mission being authorized. Pandit ji.
अभियान निदेशक ने वाहन निदेशक को उड़ान के लिए अधिकृत कर दिया है। ईंधन भरा होता है। इससे 4,800 किलोमीटर। अंतिम चरण PS4 है जिसमें प्रणोदक भार 2.5 टन है। यह तरल ईंधन इस्तेमाल करता है। अब हम आपको
began in the early 1970s.
Produced by DECU, our development.
The development of launch vehicle technology began in the early 1970s in India with the determination to achieve self-reliance in the area of being able to launch all class of satellites in the required orbits. An important milestone towards achieving this goal was the first experimental satellite launch vehicle, PSLV-C, developed in 1980, which was capable of placing payload weighing 40 kgs in low Earth orbit. An improved version of this augmented satellite launch vehicle, ASLV, was successfully launched in 1992. ASLV was configured with a mission of orbiting 150 kg class satellites into 400 kilometer circular orbits. ISRO further applied its energies to the advancement of launch vehicle technology, resulting in the creation of its workhorse, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV. PSLV registered its first successful flight with PSLV-D2 in October 1994. It was later operationalized in 1997 with the launch of PSLV-C1, and in these more than 20 years, ISRO has perfected its regular operational launch capability with PSLV, thereby mastering rocket science. With 34 consecutive successful flights, PSLV has proved itself to be one of the world's most reliable launch vehicles. It has made India self-reliant in launching satellites weighing up to 1,750 kgs into the polar orbit and 1,425 kgs to geosynchronous transfer orbit. PSLV has launched various historic missions like Mars Orbiter Mission, Chandrayaan-1, Space Capsule Recovery Experiment, Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System IRNSS, etc. For the very first time, PSLV-C2, by launching 3 satellites, demonstrated multiple satellite launch capability. Since then, 17 missions of PSLV have launched multiple satellites in a single mission. In 2008, PSLV created a record for most number of satellites placed in orbit in one launch by launching 10 satellites into various low Earth orbits. At the end of June 2016, PSLV-C34, in its 35th consecutive launch, will again make history by launching 20 satellites in a single mission. The vehicle is carrying 4 micro-Earth observation satellites weighing 85 to 130 kgs, each belonging to foreign agencies. M3MSat of Canada will collect and study automatic identification system signals from low Earth orbit. SkySat Gen 2.1 of USA is for Earth imaging. Lapan A3 of Indonesia is for Earth observation, for land use, natural resources and environment monitoring. Pyros of Germany will monitor and study the high temperature events of the Earth. The rocket is also carrying 15 nanosatellites weighing 4 to 30 kgs each, which includes Canada's Earth observation satellite GHG-SAT-D, 3 quad packs containing 12 Dove satellites from USA, and 2 student satellites, one each from Satyabhama University and Pune Engineering College. Overall, the PSLV-C34 mission is launching 17 satellites of foreign agencies, including those from US, Canada, Germany and Indonesia. The PSLV-C34 mission is launching ISRO's latest cartographic satellite, which is 4th in the series of satellites. As a follow-on mission, it will provide high-resolution images in panchromatic and multispectral bands. The satellite carries 4 cameras, which were designed fabricated, assembled and tested at Space Applications Center, SAC, Ahmedabad, while the optics for the cameras were provided by Laboratory for Electro-Optic Systems, LEOS, Bengaluru. Both the panchromatic and the multispectral cameras provide continuous imaging. Panchromatic camera takes grayscale pictures of the Earth in the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. The multispectral camera will provide data for color images using 4 bands of the electromagnetic spectrum. Space Applications Center has developed new technologies in detection systems, camera electronics, including power electronics and miniaturization of mass and volume. The spacecraft has been designed, integrated and tested by ISRO Satellite Center, ISAC. The spacecraft's onboard computer, sensor processing, attitude and orbit control and thermal control functions, the power generation, communication systems and many others have been developed in ISAC. Subsystems developed in other ISRO centers like inertial systems from IISU, reaction control systems from LPSC and sensors from LEOS are brought to ISAC, where they are assembled and integrated into the spacecraft. The solar cells mounted on the solar panels generate the necessary power for the spacecraft. Lithium-ion batteries store the generated energy to support the spacecraft during payload operations and eclipse. The antenna systems of the spacecraft will transmit the recorded payload data from the spacecraft to ground stations. The data from the satellite will meet the increasing user demands for cartographic applications at village, town, or sub-meter level for the development of various urban and rural resource management, coastal land use and regulation, utilities mapping, LIS, GIS, and disaster monitoring applications. Till now, PSLV has successfully orbited 33 Indian and 57 foreign satellites belonging to agencies of 21 countries. PSLV, with its capability of launching multiple satellites and in different orbits, is truly ISRO's most versatile launch vehicle.
Welcome back to the live coverage. We are 5 minutes and 32 seconds into the launch. The vehicle is under automated launch sequence and everything is proceeding as per plan. I shall now give you some details of the satellite on board. Apart from meeting our own satellite launch requirements, we have so far provided launch services on board PSLV for 57 customer satellites from 20 countries. The main spacecraft today in this mission is the Cartosat-2 series satellite of ISRO. It is an advanced remote sensing satellite and weighs 728 kilograms. It carries panchromatic and 4 bands multispectral cameras and will provide a host of remote sensing applications and will also augment the data services to users. The next Indian satellite on board is the Satyabama Sat. It is a nano satellite weighing 1.6 kilograms and its objectives are to monitor the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and to obtain a pollution model for India. The SWAYAM is also a nano satellite weighing 1 kilograms. It is a passively stabilized satellite with a dipole antenna and its objective is to develop a bidirectional communication platform. Next we have 17 customer satellites. The Lapan A3 weighing 120 kilograms is an Indonesian microsatellite for Earth observation, for land use, natural resources and environmental monitoring. The Biros weighing 130 kilograms is a small scientific satellite from DLR, the German Aerospace Center. And its main mission objective is sensing of high temperature events.
4 minutes.
The M3M Sat from Canada, weighing 85 kilograms, is a technology demonstrator. Its primary mission is the collection of automatic identification system, that is AIS signals, from low Earth orbit. The SkySat Gen 2-1 is a small Earth imaging satellite from Terabella, a Google company in California. It weighs 109 kilograms and will capture sub-meter resolution imagery and high-definition video. GHG-SAT is a nanosatellite from Canada. It has a mass of 13.5 kilograms and is an Earth observation satellite built by the Space Flight Laboratory of the University of Toronto. Finally, we have Planet Labs Dove satellites, 12 in number, each with a mass of 4.7 kilograms. These are Earth imaging satellites housed in 3 quad packs dispensers during the launch. By a careful design, a safe separation of all the satellites is ensured. We are now about 3 minutes to launch.
इस समय हम प्रमोशन से की निचली कक्षाओं से स्वचालित, इसके अलावा
Minus 30
जो
seconds.
सैटेलाइट जा रहा है वो स्काईसैट जेन 2-1 और इसके साथ ही डब उपग्रह जा रहे हैं जो अमेरिकी उपग्रह हैं।
We are only 20 seconds from launch, and now we go quiet for few moments to let you have
15
feel of the
seconds.
launch.
अब हम सिर्फ 13 सेकंड की दूरी पर हैं, प्रमोशन होने वाला है।
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5,
Majestic liftoff, majestic
plus
liftoff with the core and
शानदार
coast of
तरीके
Eastern
से
Atlantic.
+10 seconds.
वाहन ने अपना स्थल छोड़ा और इस समय वाहन अपने मार्ग पर जाते हुए, और आप अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं कितने भव्य रूप से ये वाहन अपने पुनः निर्धारित मार्ग पर जाते हुए।
The airlet strap-ons are ignited, and now all the 6 strap-ons and the core is thrusting. This is the most powerful phase of flight. The dense atmosphere of Earth is being
Plus 40
successfully negotiated by our PSLV launch vehicle.
Plus
Excel
45
is on the
seconds.
way, and the next event is the separation of 4 ground-lead
50
strap-ons, which will happen at 70 seconds from liftoff.
आप देख रहे हैं कि पहले चरण का इग्निशन हो चुका है और जो
Plus
भूमि
1
पर
minute.
प्रज्वलित होने वाले थे स्ट्रैप-ऑन, उनका भी प्रज्वलन हो चुका है, और जो हवा में प्रज्वलित होने वाले स्ट्रैप-ऑन थे उनका भी प्रज्वलन हो गया है। आप अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं किस तरह से वाहन अपने पूर्व निर्धारित मार्ग पर जाते हुए।
In a few moments, we are going to have the separation of 2 air-lit strap-ons, and after that, the core will function independently for another 20 seconds. The air-lit strap-ons are now separated.
हवा में प्रज्वलित
This is
दोनों
quite a bit of
स्ट्रैप-ऑन
a
मोटर्स
plume.
इस समय पृथक कर दिए गए हैं, उनका
I think
पृथक्करण
cut
हो
off
गया
of
है। इस तरह
this
से
one.
सभी स्ट्रैप-ऑन मोटर्स का पृथक्करण हो चुका है।
Second
One out of
ignition
first
of the
stage completed. The second stage
No,
will
I
be
think the
now
first thing
ignited.
actually saw safe side.
बहुत खुशी की बात है कि प्रथम चरण पृथक हो चुका है
+2 minutes.
और अब द्वितीय, तृतीय, चतुर्थ चरण रॉकेट को अपने पथ पर आगे ले जा रहे हैं।
The next event will be the separation of ullage motors. Ullage motors are very crucial in providing positive acceleration to the vehicle during the transition from the solid to the liquid stage.
इस समय करीब 142 सेकंड की उड़ान हो चुकी है और वाहन ने 2.19 की गति प्राप्त, किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की गति प्राप्त कर ली है। वाहन अब भारत के से करीब
The heat shield is now
150 किलोमीटर
separated.
दूर है।
The heat shield is now separated. We are at an altitude of 115 kilometers, where the dense atmosphere has been crossed. The protection, thermal protection to the satellites is no more required, and hence heat shield is jettisoned. Now the vehicle is under closed loop guidance, and the second stage is being guided by our guidance
3
system
minutes.
to its desired
Second
point,
stage
where
performance
it
normal.
will be shut off once those conditions are achieved.
बंद परिपथ निर्देशन प्रणाली को आरंभ कर दिया गया है और इस तरह से यह वाहन को नियंत्रित करती रहेगी और अंततः सारे उपग्रहों का प्रक्षेपण करेगी।
The PS2 is employing a liquid engine with unsymmetric dimethyl hydrazine as the
UVMH.
fuel. The oxidizer is nitrogen tetroxide N2O4.
And 2 of
Second stage is performing as per plan, and you can see the pre-flight predicted path in red and the green dot, which is the current vehicle position,
Second stage
right
performance
over
normal.
one
this
over
is
another.
a so-called dog-leg maneuver.
वाहन इस समय करीब 193 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुका है, जो
+4 minutes.
भारत से
No,
करीब
that's
करीब
a
355
FOA
किलोमीटर दूर है
flying over populated
और
areas.
वाहन की गति इस समय 3.7 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड हो चुकी है और लगभग 250 सेकंड की उड़ान अब तक पूरी हो चुकी है।
We are in an altitude of 215 kilometers, and shortly we will have the shutdown of PS2 as
PS2
planned.
stay separated.
तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन हो चुका है। दो चरणों ने अपना कार्य कर दिया है, जो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से किया गया है।
PSLV is
अब
flying on its
तृतीय
third
चरण
stage.
वाहन को आगे ले जा रहा है। इस समय वाहन 263 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई पर पहुंच चुका है।
The third stage motor case is made
Third
of a
stage
composite
performance
material
normal.
offering significant payload benefits. The propellant used is hydroxy terminated polybutane, which is a very efficient solid propellant and used in
Plus
all
5
our
minutes.
stages of solid performance, that is the first stage and the strap-ons as well. We are now at an altitude of 260 kilometers, and the third stage performance is perfectly normal. We also are about 650 kilometers away from the launch pad now.
इस समय तृतीय चरण की उड़ान चल रही है, जो करीब
Third stage
381
performance
सेकंड
normal.
तक चलेगी। उस समय तक वाहन 326 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुका होगा।
Now you can see our customers on screen. The customers from Indonesia, Canada, Germany, and the United States of America. They are very much engrossed and very intently viewing our launch proceedings. We have been launching customer services for all across. Now you see the experts, our
Plus 6
experts
minutes.
on screen, very carefully monitoring the launch as it proceeds. Now you can see that PS3 has burnt out, and the combined coast of third stage and fourth stage has started. We intentionally give a combined coast so that favorable conditions of PS4 ignition are achieved, and the third stage residual thrust
PS3
nowhere
burnout.
intervenes with the fourth stage during its ignition.
थोड़ी देर में आप
Performance
देखेंगे
during
कि
combined
तृतीय
posting
चरण
is
भी
normal.
अपनी उड़ान को पूरा कर लेगा, और फिर हम चतुर्थ चरण और अंतिम चरण के इंजन को प्रज्वलित करेंगे। ऐसा 497 सेकंड में किया जाएगा। उस समय वाहन और उसके साथ उपग्रह करीब 423 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुके होंगे, और उस समय वाहन की गति करीब 5.9 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की हो चुकी होगी।
Plus 7 minutes.
आप
You
देख
can
रहे हैं इस समय हमारे विदेशी मेहमान जिनके की उपग्रह इस अभियान में जा रहे हैं, वो इसका प्रतीक्षा करते हुए कि ये उपग्रह कब कक्षा में प्रक्षेपित किए जाएंगे, और उन्हें इसका बेसब्री से इंतजार। आप पूरी दर्शक दीर्घा में देखिए सभी देशों के वैज्ञानिक। अब आप देख रहे हैं
Performance during combined coasting
रॉकेट
is
का
normal.
परिपथ, और चतुर्थ चरण के प्रज्वलन शुरू होने की घोषणा थोड़ी देर में की जाएगी। उसके लिए सब लोग इंतजार करते हुए।
The fourth stage is going to ignite at around 497 seconds from liftoff. We are right now at 470 seconds. In another 20 seconds, now you see on screen our chairman, Shri S. Kiran Kumar, very intently monitoring the launch, along with director of Satish Dhawan Space
Plus
Center,
8 minutes.
and flanked by the director of Liquid Propulsion System Center, Shri S. Somnath. Shri Kunni Krishnan is also our chairman of the Launch Authorization Board, and now we are very close to the ignition of
PS3 stays separated.
PS4. The third stage has just been separated.
PS4 engine started.
चतुर्थ चरण का इग्निशन यानी कि प्रज्वलन घोषित कर दिया गया है। अब चतुर्थ चरण अपना कार्य शुरू कर चुकी है।
The fourth stage has been ignited. We are in the last leg of our launch, where the fourth stage will slowly and steadily provide the velocity required for orbit. The velocity required is 7.6 kilometers per second inertial velocity.
Fourth stage performance normal.
The fourth stage will now perform for nearly 495 seconds. And as the fourth stage performs and everything is as per
Plus 9
plan,
minutes.
the third stage has just been separated, and I would like to share with you the importance of stage separations in launch vehicles. The sprint stages of a multi-stage launch vehicle are separated from the main vehicle once their useful life is over. The
It's
separation should be
fuel.
smooth and collision-free under all possible circumstances. No undue body rates may be imparted on the ongoing vehicle. The PSLV employs various types of separation system. The strap-ons are separated in sensible atmosphere and they are jettisoned using a set of springs. The first stage separates from the vehicle using the flexible shaped linear charge that is the FLSC. There are 8 retro rockets on first stage to impart the separation velocity. Then the heat shield halves are separated by linear bellow system explosive cord, which is a pressure cord and is encased in the piston cylinder
Plus 10
assembly
minutes.
along the heat shield. Moment band bolt cutter separation mechanisms are used for second stage separation, and there are 4 retro rockets to provide the jettisoning force. The third stage separation uses
Hi, Louis.
ball lock release type mechanism, and springs give the relative velocity. All the spacecraft separations are spring assisted. By a very careful and elaborate analysis,
Fourth
a
stage
safe separation
performance
meetings
normal.
all mission requirement is ensured for each of the separations, both in short term and in long term orbit propagation. A proper separation sequence of satellites is designed to ensure this.
आपको इस दौरान हम पृथक्करण प्रणालियों के बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दे दें कि ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान एक बहुचरणीय यान है। ये तो आप सभी जानते हैं। यान के निष्क्रिय हुए चरणों को यान से लगभग उनके कार्यकाल के खत्म होने के बाद अलग कर दिया जाता है। यह पृथक्करण
Plus
की
11
प्रक्रिया
minutes.
ऐसी होनी चाहिए ताकि पृथक हुआ चरण यान से ना टकराए, साथ ही यान
Sharmana
भी
to
अपने
yellow
नियंत्रण
F.
में रहे। इस अभियान में कई पृथक्करण प्रणालियां उपयोग की गई हैं और जो पृथक्करण घटनाएं हैं उनमें स्ट्रैप-ऑन मोटरों का पृथक्करण, फिर क्रमशः प्रथम, द्वितीय व तृतीय चरण की मोटरों का पृथक्करण, अंत में उपग्रहों का एक के बाद बारी बारी से पृथक्करण। ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान में कई पृथक्करण प्रणालियां हैं। स्ट्रैप-ऑन पृथक्करण उड़ान के वायुमंडलीय चरण के दौरान होता है।
Using
इन्हें
Google
स्प्रिंग
Earth.
बलों के द्वारा अलग किया जाता है। इसके बाद प्रथम चरण का पृथक्करण होता है, उसमें FLSC जिसको अंग्रेजी में फ्लेक्सिबल लीनियर शेप चार्ज प्रणाली कहते हैं का प्रयोग होता है। साथ ही 8 रेट्रो रॉकेटों का भी ताकि पृथक होते हुए प्रथम चरण को पर्याप्त पृथक्करण, त्वरण व वेग प्रदान किया जा सके। ऊष्मा कवच का पृथक्करण पिस्टन सिलेंडर प्रणाली द्वारा हो जाता है। द्वितीय चरण के पृथक्करण में मर्मन बैंड बोल्ट कटर प्रणाली का उपयोग होता है, साथ ही 4 रेट्रो रॉकेटों का भी उपयोग किया जाता है। तृतीय चरण का पृथक्करण बॉल रिलीज प्रणाली द्वारा किया जाता है। पृथक्करण बल स्प्रिंगों द्वारा प्रदान किया जाता है। तत्पश्चात उपग्रहों का चतुर्थ चरण से पृथक्करण होता है जो स्प्रिंगों द्वारा किया जाता है। इन सभी प्रणालियों का पूर्ण रूप से विश्लेषण किया गया था और यह सुनिश्चित किया गया था कि पृथक्करण सुरक्षित व सटीक हो।
PS4 will now burn for another 150 seconds and then the orbital conditions will be achieved. PS4 is a very efficient motor and we are planning another experiment, a very crucial one in this mission regarding PS4. We are going to restart PS4 twice in this mission. You can see our chairman and senior scientists, our center directors are sitting along with chairman and very carefully monitoring
13 minutes.
all the parameters of the launch, everything as per plan. As you can see, the red dot and the green dots moving one over another.
आप देख रहे हैं उड़ान का चतुर्थ चरण और अब तक करीब 792 सेकंड की उड़ान हो चुकी है और वाहन की गति 6.8 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड हो चुकी है। वाहन अब भारत से करीब करीब 3,400 किलोमीटर दूर पहुंच चुका है। उस समय उसकी ऊंचाई 517 किलोमीटर है। इस दौरान मैं आपको एक खास प्रयोग के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं। जैसा कि हमने बताया कि ये चतुर्थ चरण न केवल उपग्रहों को प्रक्षेपित करेगा बल्कि इस बार 2 बार इसको पुनः प्रज्वलित भी किया जाएगा। ऐसा इसलिए हम कर रहे हैं कि अगर हमें इसी अभियान में या किसी भी अभियान में एक ही अभियान में 2 या 2 से ज्यादा कक्षाओं को में उपग्रह छोड़ना हो तो चतुर्थ चरण को पुनः प्रज्वलित करना आवश्यक हो जाएगा। चौथे चरण के इंजन के पुनर्प्रज्वलन का प्रदर्शन ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान की C-29 उड़ान में किया गया था। परंतु आज के अभियान में यह 2 बार पुनर्प्रज्वलित की जाएगी। यह एक महत्वपूर्ण प्रयोग है। इस तकनीक के द्वारा 2 अलग-अलग कक्षाओं में उपग्रहों को छोड़ा जा सकता है। अभी ऐसा संभव नहीं हो पाता है क्योंकि अभी कोई भी अभियान केवल एक ही कक्षा में सारे उपग्रह छोड़ पाता है। पुनर्प्रज्वलन 2 बार होगा और दोनों बार लगभग 5 सेकंड का होगा। उड़ान प्रस्थान से 990 सेकंड व चतुर्थ चरण का इंजन बंद कर दिया जाएगा ताकि उपग्रहों को उनकी कक्षा में स्थापित किया जा सके। लगभग 1590 सेकंड तक सारे उपग्रह प्रक्षेपित कर दिए जाएंगे। अंतिम उपग्रह के प्रक्षेपण के लगभग 52 मिनट के बाद चतुर्थ चरण के इंजन का पहला पुनर्प्रज्वलन किया जाएगा जो लगभग 5 सेकंड तक चलेगा। उसके बाद इंजन को फिर बंद कर दिया जाएगा। बंद करने के 47 मिनट बाद इंजन को दूसरी बार पुनः प्रज्वलित किया जाएगा जो कि 5 सेकंड अवधि का होगा। ये दोनों पुनर्प्रज्वलन रॉकेट की कक्षा को पूर्णतः परिवर्तित कर देगी। पहले पुनर्प्रज्वलन की जानकारी नॉर्वे के स्वालबर्ड भूकेंद्र से प्राप्त होगी और द्वितीय पुनर्प्रज्वलन अंटार्कटिका के ट्रोल भूकेंद्र से देखा जा सकेगा। चतुर्थ चरण के पुनर्प्रज्वलन के समय सभी उपग्रह चतुर्थ चरण के ढांचे से कम 6 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर रहेंगे ताकि उनमें आपस में कोई टकराव न हो सके। चतुर्थ चरण के पुनर्प्रज्वलन की सभी तैयारियां पूरी कर ली गई हैं और हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि यह प्रयोग पूर्णतः सफल होगा।
The PS4 engine restart is planned to be done twice as a functional requirement for injecting satellites in 2 different orbits in a subsequent mission. These restarts also provide the mission designers with more flexibility for subsequent mission designs. Both the restarts will be a total duration of 5 seconds each with a steady state burn duration of 3 seconds. These 2 restarts will totally change the orbits in which the 20 satellites are delivered, and that is what we intend to demonstrate. The restart timing constraints were carefully chosen so that the orbital height, inclination and RAN are all changed for validation purpose. For this, the PS4 engine has to ignite twice at appropriate times decided a priori. Also, we would like to share with you that all satellites...
Engine shut off. Injection conditions are achieved.
Okay, the orbital conditions are achieved. The PS4 has been shut off and the orbital conditions have been achieved. We now wait for the injection of satellites after proper reorientation of the stage. Cartosat will be injected now, any moment.
चतुर्थ चरण अब अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गया है, उस ऊंचाई पर पहुंच गया है जहां पर सारे उपग्रहों को प्रक्षेपित किया जाना है। इसलिए अब चतुर्थ चरण को और ऊंचाई पर ना पहुंचाने से बचाने के लिए बंद कर दिया गया है। अब थोड़ी देर में आप देखेंगे कि Cartosat-2S पृथक हो चुका है।
Cartosat-2S will be injected. Now, another 35 seconds after another careful reorientation of the stage to achieve proper injection conditions which will keep the spacecraft safely away from Cartosat, the Satyabhama sat and Swayam satellite will be together injected within a gap of 440 milliseconds.
Alright, let's just stay here for
थोड़ी देर में आप देखेंगे कि दूसरे उपग्रह भी एक के बाद एक प्रक्षेपित किए जाएंगे और इनके बाद
Satyabhama and Swayam satellites are separated and placed in the orbit.
Satyabhama satellite and Swayam satellite are separated and injected into orbit.
सत्यभामा सैटेलाइट और स्वयं सैटेलाइट का भी पृथक्करण हो गया है, वो अपनी अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गए हैं।
Plus 18 minutes.
The PS4 is right now undergoing another careful reorientation for the injection of next 2 satellites. Before these satellites are injected, we will inject out the upper portion of a dual launch adapter, and from inside the dual launch adapter, 4 satellites, the 4 macro satellites will be injected.
लपान A3 पृथक किया जा चुका है, वह अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गया है। बायरोस भी पृथक किया जा चुका है, वह अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गया है।
Lapan A3 and Biros are now separated, and shortly the other 2 satellites, that is M3M and SkySat, will be separated.
थोड़ी देर में आप देखेंगे कि M3M उपग्रह व SkySat भी अपनी अपनी कक्षा में प्रस्थापित कर दिए जाएंगे।
PS4 is now undergoing another careful reorientation so that we have a favorable direction of ejection for both M3M and SkySat. The separation of the M3M and SkySat are now separated.
Are separated and placed in the orbit.
M3M सैटेलाइट और SkySat दोनों पृथक्करण हो चुका है और वो अपनी अपनी कक्षा में प्रस्थापित हो चुके हैं।
Shortly, the microsatellite GHG-SAT will be separated, and that will be our 12th satellite to be injected into orbit. GHG-SAT is now separated.
GHG-SAT सैटेलाइट का भी पृथक्करण हो गया है, वह भी अपनी कक्षा में प्रस्थापित कर दिया गया है.
Separation events of the next 12 dose satellites, they are monitored from an Antarctica station called Troll. They will be announced shortly.
Now you can see
the separation of Cartosat-2C satellite
conclusion of this mission, in the sense that the 12 satellites down, which will be separated little later, and they will be the separations will be confirmed from the ground station at Troll, Antarctica, where after 400 seconds the Troll station will acquire our PS4, and then the recorded separation information will be received by us. You can see our chairman and senior scientists congratulating each other. Now our chairman is going to speak shortly to all of you, and we say goodbye to you from here. Thank you for being with us, and let us hear our chairman speaking to us now.
इस प्रसारण के दौरान
Good morning to all of you. Today PSLV-C34 has done its job, and we have the current generation of Earth observation satellite Cartosat-2 series, and along with this another 17 satellites have been put into the orbit, and we will get the confirmation for the Dove series of satellites shortly. Now I'd request Kunnikrishnan, Director SDSC, to say a few words.
PSLV would be at the pinnacle of joy and pride, because immediately after the successful completion of a major task assigned to it of launching 7 navigation satellites to form the constellation NAVIC, today it has accomplished yet another major milestone with 20 satellites, 17 satellites from other countries, 2 from the Indian Academia, and 1 the major satellite Cartosat-2 series. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the entire ISRO team. By marking 35 consecutive successful missions, today forging closer and closer to the ultimate reliability figure. Today, PSLV has now become a success symbol for ISRO and for the country. By making successive missions in a short
Anyway
span
guys,
of
I'm
time,
going to end this video here. I'm about to
in that
25. That was
process,
launch of PSLV-C34,
we have been adopting more and more
Cartosat-2 series.
professionalism in our launch campaign
Goodbye.
activities.